Okay, I think I'm live. And my stereo's got a couple of CDs stuck in it, so it just keeps on going. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm live. All right. Yeah, so here I am at another appointment. This time the wife's at a different doctor, and it's probably going to be about an hour, so I'll be on for an hour. But what I came on to say, hi, Cold Warrior, how are ya? Woohoo! What I came on to say was last night I did a little show with BZ, BZ's Bobcat Saloon. Let's see, BZ's Berzerk Bobcat Saloon on SHR Media. So you guys could go check that out if you want to. He also has it on YouTube, and I'll put a link below when I get done doing this. And then tonight I am going to be with Jeffrey Gonzalez on Paranormal Central. Yay! At least yay. And I thought I would come on and let you guys know that. I have no idea what Jeff wants to talk about. But last night, we mostly talked about CRPS. Oh, that's cool, though. Howdy, MK Ultra and Hummingbird. I have to get close to see the words. Can't see them. This time I set the camera on the dash, so it's a little bit further away from me. I think that's better. I hope you all can hear me. I have no idea how the audio sounds on this thing. The picture looks good to me, though, except for that. um, yeah. So last night we probably talked mostly about RSD, something that BZ is. I've actually known BZ since 2012. Oh, cool. I'm glad I'm loud and clear. Yeah, I've known BZ. Hi, Connie. Uh, I've known BZ since 2012. Way a long time ago. We did a SAC UFO con in Sacramento, and we took a whole studio over there. I mean, a trailer load, a pickup truck load, and set up this big elaborate studio and went live and we interviewed Norio Hayakawa, a whole bunch of different people. Ed, I can't remember his last name. He's passed since then. Um, hey, Adolf. Cool. Sometimes I think I was talking too much, but I know that you got to talk. It's not interesting if there's dead air. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it turned out pretty good, anyways. Yeah, I'm on the pick. Yeah, he has it. You can watch it on YouTube. He has it on, I think it's called SHR Media on you. That's their YouTube channel. I'm not real sure, but I will put the link to it down below. And then tonight at 6:30, I'll be with Jeffrey Gonzalez in the studio. That's why I'm all dressed up. I got my Bigfoot. I'm all ready to go. My wife's gonna get out of here probably about 5 o'clock, and I have to be there at 6:30. And I didn't think I was gonna have time to get all ready and everything. And then I basically going live just to let you guys know, a heads up, to be, if you don't tune in to Jeffrey already, tune in tonight because it's going to be pretty good. We're going to talk about some stuff, and I have no idea what it is that we're going to be talking about. I really do not know. It's going to be a surprise to me and you, whatever we talk about. I'm thinking we're going to talk about some things that happened to us at at this last camp out that we did. He has a lot of audio. There's a tree that fell in the night. There was what I think it was trying to be an owl at first, and it made like a halfway owl call, and then it turned into a woo, and that was exactly what Jeff was doing. He did that right before we went in the trailer and called it a night, and so it started mimicking all that. But I have a feeling that's what we're going to be talking about. Hi Joe, what's up, man? Yeah, Bobby, how are you doing, man? Yeah, so it's been kind of crazy. I'm also going to be on the 16th of this month. I'm going to be on Bigfoot Odyssey. I don't know if you guys have seen that channel or not, but it's a pretty good, they're pretty good. You know, he puts up some good documentaries, you know, edited stuff that's really cool. And then they do a live thing like every other night or something like that. But he's going to be doing a 12 days of Christmas, and I'll be on the 16th. I don't know which day to Christmas I'm going to be on, you know, on the show, but last night was BZ Berzerk Bobcat Saloon. Then tonight will be Jeffrey Gonzalez, Paranormal Central, and then the 16th will be Bigfoot Odyssey. And I have no idea what's up after that. I'm pretty sure there'll be some more after this. It seems like all of a sudden the topic is really hot. And I've been watching this guy. Yeah, I give everybody a wrench. I think it's cool. I don't think Joe has a wrench. Later on, when I get on the computer and because when I upload these things on when I do a live, YouTube adds their own ads on here, and they put one like every 5 minutes. So annoying. And I cut it down to maybe two. I'm thinking about cutting the ads all the way off. I mean, I think my earnings on YouTube in the last year has been like $5. So it isn't like I'm making anything off of YouTube at all. And then I've been hit or miss on the Patreon thing. I seriously apologize for not keeping up on stuff. I really should keep up on it. BitChute. I will try BitChute. Hi, Renee. Number one, Renee. Not one ping. Interesting. Not today. It would look like Cold Warrior was number one today. He hit me with a woohoo right away. Cool. Yeah, and I know on the last one when I was live, I'm supposedly having a very good signal, but I noticed the signal was, you know, cutting out a couple times. Even though it didn't cut me off all the way, it made like a weird alien sound, you know. Hi, Nick. Or wait, no, Nuke. Nukalavi. I don't know how to. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I don't want to butcher it anymore. I'll just call you Nuke. Duke Nukem. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it was interesting. Like, if you guys don't know, like, I never really talk about what's wrong with me, RSD wise or CRPS, whatever you want to call it. And last night, that's all that BZ wanted to talk about. And it was refreshing a little bit to have someone asking me questions. Hey, Sam Squatch. It was refreshing. I wasn't talking about Bigfoot or aliens or things that go bump in the night so much. And it was talking about what I deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I mean, he really he really dragged a lot of stuff out of me that I normally won't tell anyone. And basically that's why I'm not with Jeff on a regular basis anymore, is due to what I talked about on BZ's Bobcat, let's see, Berzerk Bobcat Saloon last night. And I normally I don't like to talk about things like that. No one knows how to pronounce it. Well, thank you, Duke Nukem. How's that? I'll just call you Duke Nukem. That sounds really good. Yeah. So normally I don't talk about what those things that I talked about on BZ's show last night. It was it felt really good to let it out and really talk about it, because I want everybody to know what I deal with daily, and it'll make sense of why I'm hit or miss on my own channel, on my YouTube channel. I know everybody wants to see me more often, and I never really give a real reason of why I'm not, but it's safe to say that there's a reason behind it. And if you watch the BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon on YouTube, or listen to it there, or go to the shrmedia.com website and pick it up on the podcast. I think it's Spreaker or something like that. You'll know exactly what I go through every single day, and why I'm hit or miss on my YouTube channel, and why I'm not with Jeff as much as I used to be. And I mean, I laid it out pretty good. And normally I wouldn't even say as much as what I talked about, but BZ said it was important that we talk about it. He was texting me beforehand, and he all the way up until last night, he was telling me we were going to talk about the latest Bigfoot stuff and things like that. And then, at the last minute, he lays on me, that we're going to talk about RSD or CRPS, which is, it used to be RSD, and then about 10 years ago, they changed it to complex regional pain syndrome. So it's called CRPS. But it isn't stopping me. It doesn't own me. I own it. It just slows me down, and some days it stops me cold, but it doesn't stop me cold all the way, because I bounce back. I'm like a bumble. Bumbles bounce and I bounce. So I bounce right back. And so that's what that was about. That's what we talked about on BZ's show. And then at the end, we talked about some alien stuff, and we had some Bigfoot theories. And there's a person that called in named Simone, and she shared an alien encounter she had when she was a little girl, and we talked about that a little bit, which I thought was interesting, especially the way what it was doing to her. So, and I think I'm going to talk to her a little more about. Hey AC, how are you? And Knight Rider. Yeah, I didn't get to see those Bigfoot shows. I didn't get to see them. I don't have Travel Channel. I have like the basic family channel, but it doesn't come with Travel Channel. So I didn't see none of them. I guess both of them were on the Travel Channel. I'm not sure. But only I got a whole bunch of texts and messages. Yeah, I'll get to that, Adolf. I will probably later on tonight. I got a whole bunch of text messages saying that somebody was telling my story on one of those TV shows. I don't know which one. I just know somebody was talking, and Jeff was the first one to message me and say, "Hey, that's your story they're talking about," and told me to tune in, but I couldn't tune in. Hello, Cryptid. so I didn't get to see him. What did you guys think about those shows? I know, I read some where people were talking about it in the Bigfoot groups, and they were talking about the technology that they had, and I I don't know. They never said exactly what the technology is. All I heard was FLIR, and I was thinking, I think that they're talking about, yeah, exactly, Cold Warrior. You hear Kaiser stuff all over. Yeah, I'm not sure which show it was because I didn't see it, but they were talking. I seen somebody say drone, and then I heard they said that they loved that they're bringing out all this new technology, and I think they have the drone that came after the one I have, the newer one. I can't remember the name of it, but it has a FLIR on it, and I have a feeling that's the one that they they're using, really expensive. And I'm figuring it's the show that has Aaron Ryder on it. She has access to all that stuff. They probably didn't have to buy it. They FLIR, when we did Nat Geo's Chasing UFOs, they brought the FLIR truck. And man, I love that truck. I sat in there all day long with the guy that operates it, and I was amazed at the technology in that truck. But I know that if they use the FLIR name in that TV show, I know Aaron Ryder can. They'll let Aaron Ryder use all this stuff because they know it's getting, talked about all over the world. You say Bigfoot and technology, or whatever, it's going to be on everywhere. And so I want to see the shows, though. I really do. I want to take a look at them and see, and then I want to see if really she was using my story or not. I mean, I don't care really. I know one other person. When All I know is they said that uh, the person with the story they were telling, the person got a rifle up and was following the Bigfoot with a rifle. That was me. I did do that. My first sighting, after about an hour and a half, the Bigfoot took off running. I'm gonna be on tonight, Jesus. I'll be on tonight. I don't know. Jeff never said why, or he never told me I was gonna be on tonight. He asked me, or today he said, "Are you gonna be here tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll be there." That's why I'm all dressed up, and I'm blinged and everything. I'm ready to go. We'll go do his show tonight. I don't know what it's gonna be about. I have no idea. I didn't know that he wanted me to be there, tell you the truth. So it was kind of a new to me, just like it's new to you guys. Even though I know he's talked about it because I went back and watched, but he never said anything of why or anything like that. He just said, "Oh, he ain't here," and I don't know what that means. But I'll be there tonight, and I'm bringing on my computer over the since I don't know 2009. I've been saving shows, and when we first started doing Paranormal Central, I was not I was not on camera with Jeff. I was behind the camera, and I was more like his tech guy, producer, and I don't know how many shows, a couple of years of shows where it's just Jeff, and it wasn't called Paranormal Central at the time. It was called Sanger Paranormal. That was the name of it, and I was behind the camera and I was producing it. So at some point, I told him Sanger Paranormal. That's too long of a name. People aren't going to remember Sanger Paranormal Society. I mean, even searching it, that's a lot of typing. And I told him, really, we should make it SPS, Sanger Paranormal Society, but just shorten it down to SPS. He doesn't like SPS, So he changed it to Paranormal Central. And I still said that was a mouthful, Paranormal Central. I can't even hardly say it. And a lot to type, again. But that's what we stuck with. And we were doing the Paranormal Central, and then we had some good guests, really good guests. And I would want to ask questions. So at some point, Jeffrey put a microphone where I could get to it and ask questions, but nobody saw me. Nobody knew who I was or anything back there. And then the people that were watching at the time, and it could be some of you guys, I have no idea, they said, "Who is that guy on the microphone? We want to see him. We want to see him." I guess they were telling Jeff that. I never knew. I didn't know. I'm going to take all those old shows to Jeff. I loaded up a flash drive or a thumb drive, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to start taking those shows, and Jeff's going to start uploading them 2 or 3 at a time every week. And he's going to call it Blast from the Past or something like that. And he's going to load up his YouTube channel with it. I told him that, those shows validate him. When he does his intro, he says he's been doing it a long time, and he doesn't just sit there like a host. He lives it, or whatever it is that he says, something along that lines. And I told him, well, you don't have anything showing that you've been there a long time, and you don't have anything, no validation, You need all those shows to validate what you're saying, and it'll give you credibility. Plus, it'll probably increase your viewership because people will go back and they can binge watch those things. And there's a lot of information. I mean, we've done, and then once one day, yeah, Emerald quit on us, but I mean, there's been a lot of changes. Hey, Sasquatch man, there's been a lot of changes to it, and he wants to be on TV. He saves a lot of stuff for TV, doesn't talk about it on his YouTube show. Yeah, but he does he'll talk about it kind of, but he won't give any details. And I don't think that's kind of fair to the viewers sometimes, but at least when it hits the TV, if they're able to watch it, they're going to have a lot of interest because he's been teasing everyone on the YouTube for a long time, which that might work out. Yeah, she left. She was having life things, kind of like me. Everyone has a life, and Jeffrey, he eats and breathes and sleeps and lives for this. And I mean, that's his main thrust every single day. And some of us, I tried to keep up with them like that, but only I have a life, and I have health problems, and I have a wife with health problems, and a mom with health problems, and a lot of people in my house, and I have just a lot of things going on, and there's some days that I can't show up. And he's one of those guys, if you're 5 minutes late, you're in deep trouble. Like, he's going to be mad at you all day for being 5 minutes late. So I tried to always be early. Very rarely was I late. Very rarely did I call in, but I did sometimes. But if you watch BZ's show, the one I did last night, BZ's Berzerk Bobcat Saloon show, I talk a whole lot more about that, about how my health impacted that, and the actual day that Jeff realized that I wasn't just pulling his leg about having health problems. I hide it really well, but that one day I couldn't hide it, and I think it freaked him out pretty bad. And then after that, everything really wasn't the same with me and Jeff after that, because I mean, it was traumatic for me, and it was real traumatic for him to see it. I know, or actually feel it. Yeah, it actually, I actually, my leg was banging on bumping his leg, and I couldn't control it, and it freaked him out really bad. And I was trying to control it, but, and then if I didn't, they didn't let me up, I was probably going to face plant, in about 3 seconds after that. But it freaked him out. He was telling me to stop it, but you can't stop. It was like a leg seizure, I guess. My leg was just vibrating or, moving, and the muscles were losing it, and I couldn't put pressure on it anymore. But that was it. But I think then it became real to him on that day. So after that, it was way different. Before that, it was like, come on, hurry up, keep up, all this stuff. After that, it was like, are you all right? Are you going to be able to do it? And I rather would have had him. What's that? Did you see my orb? It was glorious. I watched it longer than I filmed. Yes, I did see that. That was interesting. He owes you for a bet in high school. He owes some people some books too, I think. That he would give away a book, and then he was. I think Emerald was supposed to do it, and she quit, and it left it to Jeff, and I offered to do it, but he's like, I'll get it. But I have a feeling some people didn't get their books, and I think it's only a couple of people, but yeah, maybe he should get them. And I probably, he can't find the books now, even if he wanted to give them out now, but it was a long time ago. A lot of shows under the bridge now. Yeah, yeah, he is sometimes. But you better not be, by golly, you better not be a slacker. So that's what I wanted to do. Now so here's a rundown now that everybody's on here. Check out BZ's Bobcat, Berzerk Bobcat Saloon, shrmedia.com, or go to their YouTube channel. I'll have the link right under here. And then on the 16th, I'll be on the Bigfoot Odyssey, one of the 12 Days to Christmas. The loading thing. Hi, Jean Paul. AC, what's up? Yeah, that was the orb was pretty cool. The only thing I know, it was hard to tell how big it was or if it was moving or anything like that, because there was no reference point, kind of, but it was still cool. Yeah, so I'll be on the Bigfoot Odyssey on the 16th. I'll be on Jeff's shows tonight, and I was on BZ's show last night, and I'm live on mine today. So I'm keeping busy. It's going to be a busy December. It's getting sunny, foggy, I guess, kind of. But I want to make it out to Reedley. I keep on getting messages that I need to go out there. There's some certain areas that people are telling me to go to, directly to. At was a ball of light, no changing, shifting in the light. Yeah, no, it didn't shift. You're right. It was a ball of light. It looked like it perfect. You should share that. I wonder if I can figure out a way to share that on here somehow. Maybe with my computer. Dang, that's interesting, man. Wow. Hi, Cupcake. I didn't see her go by. This orb thing. Do you guys watch How to Hunt? Have you seen that guy? How to Hunt? That's what everybody does, man. When you see something, a lot of people don't realize, at least you had the frame of mind to get your camera up and you got video of the orb. But a lot of times people have something in front of them, and they're so engulfed or into what they're looking at, they forget about the camera. And then when the experience is over, then you're like, camera. I don't know how many times that's happened to me. I would have a lot more video of stuff if I wasn't so like, whoa, check that out. And then standing there, and it usually seems like a long time while it's happening, but really it's really, a minute or two at the most. And by the time it's gone, then you're thinking, oh man, I should have got my camera out. And then you're kicking yourself for a week. I should have had my camera out. I should have had it. I should have had it. And I carry my camera everywhere. I mean, absolutely. I'm serious. I carry my camera everywhere. And my phone. I mean, I never go anywhere without a camera anymore. And since I've been carrying it, I haven't seen one thing. Isn't that how it always goes? Hi, Cupcake. You carry the camera around and then nothing, absolutely nothing. But I have to tell you a few years ago when I saw that, whatever it was, flying in the sky, looking like a giant Mothman, Bigfoot dragon thing. It had dragon wings, Bigfoot body, and Mothman eyes. It really didn't have a head, just like maybe a hump like that, like, I don't know. It was just a hump like this. That was the head. And then the shoulders and arms went down. But it was the size of a Cessna. And then I was an idiot. Not only do I carry a camera, but I also carry binoculars everywhere. I would bust them out, but take my word for it, I have binoculars too. And most of the time I carry them so that Adolf can use the binoculars while I use the camera and zoom in on stuff. And Adolf's a great spotter with the binoculars, and then he'll put me on to where to zoom in and stuff like that with the camera, and we make a great team like that. It's great going out with Adolf because of how he's really good with those binoculars. I mean, he sees things I would have never saw. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so yeah, I carry, and then you have your phone with you, but the phone's not exactly as good as a camera. Even though they're getting better, they're still not as good as a actual camera. And I would get one of those big, Nikons or whatever you call it, but they're too big and bulky and hard to carry around. The little camcorder is perfect. They have one right now that I want to get. It's probably about $800. I don't have $800, but they came out with a camcorder. I think it's a Sony. I can't remember the number, but it has a gimbal built inside the camera, so when you're walking around, the camera is not bouncing and stuff like that. And when you're zooming in, it doesn't shake and everything. It's kind of like the drone. The drone can be bouncing around with the wind, but the camera is rock solid. And Sony came out with one on a camcorder, and it is really cool. Yeah, that's why I got this one, Cryptid. I could have got a different one, but I've been using cameras since I actually bought the first, when they came out with the camcorders. They were actually video camcorders. What do you call it? VHS, and the camera would be connected to the deck with a cable, and then the batteries would be inside the tape deck. And I bought one of those when they first came out. I bought the very first one, and that actually got me into the video thing. And I traveled around the world with cameras after that. And I had some real expensive 35 millimeter cameras with lenses, near all the way huge lenses. I mean, so I've been all over the world with video cameras, and it all started with a video camera. The first video recorder they came out with that wasn't, they had film cameras before that. I didn't like them. You really couldn't have sound on them very good, and they had that noise. But when they came out with that video, recorder, I bought it right away. And I bought it actually to videotape my kids' birthday parties and family stuff. And people saw what I was doing, and then they're like, "Hey, can you videotape my kids' party?" I'm like, "Sure." And then I was doing them for free, and then somebody said, "Hey, man, can you do my wedding?" And I'm like, "Wedding? Uh, that's gonna cost you, And I had to buy some extra equipment to do the wedding, to do it right. And then I was doing weddings and birthday parties and special events for people. And I went hot air ballooning with my friend. He owned a hot air balloon. And I took the camcorder so that I could document my ride in the hot air balloon. And he freaked out. He's like, "Oh my God, can you do that for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, give me another ride. I'll trade you rides." And one day we did a balloon festival, and there was, I don't know, 150 balloons, and all those guys are all friends. The next thing I know, I'm flying in everybody's balloon, and I'm videotaping all the balloons and making like promotion videos for these guys' balloons. And I made some good money, and I bought better cameras. I bought a $10,000 camera, like the news networks use that they carry on, the big cameras. And then that was it. I started doing television commercials, television shows, still weddings, parties, balloons. I started traveling and doing events for TV stations and stuff. They didn't have enough people to do parades and things like that, or football games. And they would call me up and hire me to go out and do a football game or a parade or any kind of like news event. And they would buy the tape off of me for so much a minute is. And so it turned out to be pretty lucrative. And by the time 1986, 86, I think it was 86, I had $500,000 of video equipment. I had a complete TV studio. And I mean a complete TV studio. I had a master control. Like if you went into a television station and you went in their control room, I had that. I had a big, huge board, the switchers and all kinds of stuff, audio, microphones, lights. I had a complete set. I had editing bays where you could edit video, and people would rent my editing room and go and edit their videos and stuff like that. And I was really into it. And one day I got ripped off by my general manager. I was out of the country, and he was my general manager for about 2 years. And he also was a preacher, and I was doing his TV show. And how we operated was, instead of paying him, I would produce his TV show and edit it and do the whole thing for it. And then when I went out of the country, I came back. I was gone about, I don't know, 35 days, something like that. And I came back and went home, slept, took a shower, all that stuff. Then I went into the studio, and the next morning, and when I got to the office building that I had rented, there was a for lease sign in the window. And I was looking in the window, and my key didn't work in the door. And I called the guy that owned it, and he says, "Oh, I thought you left." And then he sued me for the lease for $10,000 for the remaining lease for the year, because I couldn't pay the rent. I didn't have any more all I had was the camera that I was carrying and the equipment that I took with me. and there was no way that I could make that kind of money with that camera to keep the building. And why would I want to keep the building anyways? So I wound up getting sued by that guy and a couple other people that I had contracts with to do shows. And I never did see that guy again that stole everything. And I did do a police report and stuff like that. And then I heard rumors he was in Georgia or someplace and doing TV shows and stuff like that. And at one point I thought about going after him and knocking him over the head and stealing it back. Only it wasn't worth it to me. About the time he did that, everything was starting to go digital. So that was all analog, tubes in the cameras and everything. And digital was coming out, and I would have had to go in big debt and everything to redo it. Okay, you guys, I'm going to be on. Here comes my wife. I'm going to be on Paranormal Central tonight. Check me out in about, I can't remember what time. I think 6:30 or something like that. But I will see you there. It was good chatting with you. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys always. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate everything. It's good to hang out with you. I hope I didn't blab your ears off or nothing. Okay, we will see you later.